Hello, everyone. I'm North Ridgeville City School Superintendent Roxann Ramsey-Caserio, and I thank you for taking the time to learn more about the 2020-2021 academic year. It is hard to believe that last year I gave the State of the Schools address in the North Ridgeville Academic Center cafeteria on February 28th. How different the world seemed then. We held the event in person, shared a meal together, and looked forward to the last semester of the school year. Little did anyone know that on March 16th, the governor would order that schools go fully remote for the remainder of the school year. For this State of the Schools address, I want to take some time to look back at how the 1920 school year ended, the transitions we made, and the resilience that our students, staff, and community showed. It is always good to start by remembering the mission and vision of our schools. I would point to two words in our mission statement that drove our ability to transition quickly to the new realities of the school year: innovation and collaboration. Because our Board of Education embraced the importance of technology and innovation years before a global pandemic broke out, we were well positioned for the move last spring to remote learning. Our students in grades 2 through 12 already had one-to-one technology in the form of Chromebooks. And because teachers in younger grades were already using iPads as an educational tool, the technology department, under the leadership of Mr. Paul Hieronymus, the Director of Technology and Integration, and his team, were able to quickly mobilize the available equipment to help distribute devices into the hands of students. In a collaborative effort with the North Ridgeville Public Library, our technology department was able to distribute nearly 100 Wi-Fi devices to assist our families that did not have internet access at home. Throughout this presentation, I hope that you will see examples of the innovation and collaboration that was used to educate students and support our families. I do, however, want to single out the collaboration we received from our teacher and support staff unions as we worked together to solve problems that had never been faced before. Every employee in our schools stepped up without complaint to get this job done. We worked together to solve complicated problems regarding the logistics, implementation, and planning of hybrid learning that dramatically changed the working environment for everyone. I want to take this opportunity to say how grateful I am to the hardworking men and women who serve our school community. When we used the hashtag NRCS together, we meant it. And I am sure as we look forward to the start of next school year and begin together in person, that we will all see that we are stronger together. I also want to thank the North Ridgeville Board of Education for their leadership, support, and assistance during this unconventional school year. None of what we have been able to accomplish this year would have been possible without their thoughtful voices during the planning process. Their deep connections to our school community helped provide us with the feedback and guidance we needed to make the best decisions possible, despite all of the complicated variables that we were forced to balance. Throughout the planning process, they asked tough questions, provided thoughtful feedback, and always helped to make the final decisions better because of their input. In a normal school year, it is really hard to be a member of the Board of Education. This year brought a whole new challenge to that job. The pressure they withstood and the courage they showed in providing a consistent learning format for the students in the face of changing guidelines from the state, federal, and local government agencies was significant. They showed poise and determination. And throughout it all, they reaffirmed that they were committed to making decisions in the best interest of our students and our community. Thank you very much to the North Ridgeville City Schools Board of Education. When the shutdown took place in March of 2020, it had a devastating impact on all of the culminating activities that normally mark the end of a school year. The 2020 graduating class of North Ridgeville High School was particularly impacted. Senior dinners, award banquets, prom, and commencement ceremonies were all thrown into chaos. However, with the quick action and creativity of our staff and administrators, we were able to modify many events in order to try and preserve some semblance of normalcy and to provide our seniors with the recognition they so richly deserved. It began in April when we lit up Ranger Stadium for 2 minutes and 20 seconds and let seniors and their families celebrate from their cars in the North Ridgeville Academic Center parking lot. The celebrations culminated in a virtual commencement ceremony that was recorded in advance using physical distancing protocols. The individual videos of graduates receiving their diplomas were edited together to create a virtual commencement ceremony video, which was then projected onto the big screen at the North Ridgeville Autorama Drive-In Theater. Again, students and their families celebrated safely from their cars, but were able to see their peers accept their diplomas. The evening was capped off by a fireworks display celebrating the class of 2020. This was not how anyone would have wished or imagined to have commencement ceremonies, but the hope was to try and create a memorable graduation experience nonetheless. Unfortunately, it was not just our seniors who missed out on end-of-year celebrations. All of our students missed out on field days, class parties, and end-of-year assemblies. Again, the staff mobilized their creativity and ingenuity to hold reverse parades at all of the buildings. Staff members stood outside the building with signs, noisemakers, and balloons and waved and cheered as their students drove by in parking lots. And the schools acknowledged the hard work and dedication of students and what they put into remote learning and wished them all a great summer break. As the pandemic wore on throughout the summer of 2020, it was clear that the school could and should do more to support our students and families. Our food services department mobilized resources to organize the preparation and distribution of meals to all of our families. Several times a week, staff stood outside in the morning to provide drive-by meal delivery service. It was gratifying to see how much students and families appreciated the breakfasts and lunches. Chelsea Freeman, our district social worker, coordinated with Second Harvest and the Army National Guard to be a host site for food distribution to North Ridgeville residents and surrounding communities. In addition to serving meals to students and their families, the schools worked to promote patronage at local restaurants that were losing revenue during the closures. These businesses have done so much to support our students, and it only seemed right to try and give back to them during this time of need. During normal circumstances, these restaurants held fundraisers and hosted events for any number of student groups and school booster organizations. Our weekly newsletter communicated links on how families could order takeout from these restaurants so that they could continue to keep their doors open. So that was how the 2019-2020 school year ended. As soon as the year ended, our team started to work on the development of a back-to-school plan for the 2020-2021 academic year. At first, we were hopeful that this school year would look like a normal school year. However, as daily COVID cases counts continued to rise throughout the summer, it became clear that we were going to have to look at restarting the school year differently. There were many moving parts in the decision-making process, such as how many students we could accommodate in a classroom while also maintaining physical distancing. What would busing look like? How would course offerings potentially be affected by the new guidelines? The administrative team worked tirelessly over the summer of 2020 to design a plan that we believed would keep our students and staff safe. As you know, we ultimately decided to proceed with a hybrid learning option and also to provide a full-time online-only option for families who were not comfortable sending their children back in person. We also implemented new cleaning protocols and purchased additional hand washing stations and hand sanitizer to help students and staff maintain important hand hygiene. We also invested in providing every student with a North Ridgeville branded mask to start the school year. There were also many technological applications and subscription services that were purchased by the district to ensure that students had the most engaging learning experience as possible when they were not learning in person. We understood that there were some parents, students, and community members that were upset with our decision to go hybrid and stay hybrid throughout the school year. There is nobody that wanted in-person learning to be able to occur safely more than I did. But building space and logistics did not make this feasible. However, I am very proud of the fact that we were able to provide a consistent learning format starting on September 2nd, 2020. While many schools were forced to switch between hybrid, remote, in-person, and then back again, our hybrid model and the safety measures we provided allowed us to safely operate despite spikes in COVID-19 cases. It also allowed us to maintain adequate staffing levels in order to operate educational programs when staff and students were forced to quarantine for extended periods of time. I am also very proud of the fact that students, even on remote instruction days, had their lessons delivered to them on a set daily schedule by their teachers. For us, remote learning did not mean pushing out material through learning programs and having students struggle by themselves, or to have parents feel like they had to be their child's teacher. We strove to make sure that students were able to log into live lessons led by a teacher, and that our staff provided office hours designed to provide individualized learning opportunities for students that had questions or needed additional assistance. The transition to hybrid learning and providing the option for online-only learning was new to many students and teachers. Our educators have done a fantastic job being creative with their lesson plans to keep our students healthy and safe in the classroom and engaged in lessons at home. It is remarkable to see the innovative at-home projects designed by our students. Teachers shared content and lesson plans via Zoom and Google Classroom. They connected with students even when they could not be together. Teachers maximized their in-person learning time with their students. They nurtured relationships with their students and planned activities and lessons that extended what they learned on virtual days. The COVID-19 pandemic led to uncertainties for many families. We knew it was important to help our students and their families during trying times. We also knew it was important to give back to the community that has given so much to us. The North Ridgeville City Schools created a family support website, which provided social emotional support information, mental health resources, community resources, and contact information for our school counselors. Starting in March of 2020 and continuing through this school year, we provided free breakfast and lunch pickup for families in need and hosted second harvest food drives. During the summer, food was delivered by the transportation department directly to homes. Free lunch and breakfast was offered to all kids on in-person school days. Students in our classrooms across the district were also charitable. Ms. Holka's class from the 4th grade Green Studio at the Academic Center organized a food drive for the Second Harvest Food Bank for the month of November. Students and teachers from Liberty Elementary B Group raised paper products to donate to North Ridgeville Community Care. The donation effort was part of Ms. Steele's class project, the 10 Days of Kindness. North Ridge Health Center and North Ridgeville City Schools held a Stuff the Bus school supply drive before the academic year began. The event assisted families that needed items such as writing utensils, notebooks, and folders, as well as personal protective equipment such as face masks and hand sanitizer. The 2020-2021 school year was not just unconventional academically, but also environmentally. Students and staff wore masks to protect each other from the spread of COVID-19. Ranger High-Tech Academy and high school students transitioned to the academic center to maintain social distancing guidelines. There was also limited capacity on school buses in order to keep students at a safe distance. This led to more buses on the road and modifications to our transportation routes. The landscape of interviewing teacher candidates changed too because of COVID-19. Instead of holding an in-person job fair, as we have done in recent years, we held a virtual job fair. The virtual job fair presented the opportunity to still meet candidates face-to-face and connect on a personal level. Although the 2020-2021 academic year was unconventional, I cannot say it enough. I am proud to work with a great staff who adapted well to the new style of teaching, but remained resilient and dedicated to our students to ensure they received the best education possible, but also created a sense of normalcy. During the spring of 2020, it was heartbreaking to see our students, especially the seniors, lose the opportunity to celebrate and enjoy their last year of high school. There was no prom, no spring sports, and no in-person graduation. Fortunately, our students and the senior class experienced a sense of normalcy during the 2020-2021 school year. Our students played fall, winter, and spring sports, participated in extracurricular activities like marching band and key club, attended prom and graduation in person, celebrating the occasion with their friends, family, and teachers. I was glad I was able to enjoy these moments of normalcy with our students and our staff. As I come to the end of this presentation, I want to share with you a video montage of some of the many amazing things that happened this past school year. I thank you for taking the time to watch the State of the Schools presentation. I look forward to working with our staff in the fall. I am also excited to work with new administrators, new teachers, and other staff members. However, what I look forward to the most is seeing our students back in the classroom. Thank you for your time, and remember to stay Ranger strong.